Can you guys hear me? Hey, brother. Just give me a thumbs up, guys, when you know you can hear me. All right. Cool. I'm going to give it a moment and get everybody on board here. Hello from Europe. Thank you for joining us. All you guys. All right. I'm going to jump right on here and start doing this. This is episode 36, guys. Episode 36. Hey, Roxanne, what's going on? Cheryl, what's going on, guys? All right. Let's do it. Episode 36. I do want to start out before we get started here. I do want to dedicate this episode. Unexpectedly, Commander Doug just lost someone in his family. Not to COVID, but lost someone nonetheless, and that was just an hour ago. So I don't believe he'll be on to join us. But let's take a moment of silence for a member of Commander Doug's family. So yeah, that's heavy news, guys. I do apologize, Doug, for everyone just having to go through a lot of people have had a lot of loss, and you would think it would be this pandemic that's going around, but there's a lot of other stuff. We've all had losses, a lot of us, this past couple of years, especially this past year. So our hearts and thoughts are definitely with you, and may God give you peace. Guys, I didn't mean to start the episode on that note. It's been a rough month. I've only had a few messages. I definitely wanted to catch you guys up on the messages that I have received from where we left off in episode 35. At the same time, I wanted to, and you'll understand more as we go through it, I want to go into some of the older contact, because I believe some of it is relevant today. The more I look back on some of this older work that we haven't gone through, kind of makes my hair raise up a little bit. I have a lot of opinions. I have a lot of opinions and a lot of mixed feelings about a lot of current things. And I know many of you are struggling with your own to do with everything that's going on terrestrially with the world. I do want to say thank you to all those who have helped myself in my own situation as of recent, and those of you who have helped me You know who they are. You know who you are. I know who most of you are. And to those who I don't know, who have anonymously have helped me from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. We're all going through these things, but in the end, we have to keep going forward. We have to draw our sword and put our shield forward and keep. This is just the beginning of a long haul that we all have to share. And we're going to all be there for each other, thick and thin, communications, no communications. We're gonna share. We're gonna help each other. Vegetables, eggs, whether it's money, whether it's love, whether it's advice, whether it's words of wisdom, an old book you have when there's no power or there's no internet, of these things that we take for granted. When it comes down to lamp oil and a good read, we're going to have each other to call upon because we've built a worldwide community. And there is evil. I don't know all these other people who are saying everything's liberated, everything's great, and we're all being rescued, but it's not here yet. It's not happening. We're all going through this together. So we have to stop relying on the and waiting on the help, and we have to help each other, and we have to take care of each other, and we need to continue to do this ourselves until those that present themselves that are coming to our aid. And I'm no different. They say I'm a Lyran Prince and all this jazz, but still I have to go through these things with you. And we're going to have to go through it together. And we're going to be able to do it. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. And I don't want to make this episode a Debbie Downer. What is that? The Debbie Downer. I don't want to make it into a negative. I want to stay positive. I want to trudge forward. And we're going to keep getting stronger. And every time we go through one of these tribulations or one of these hardships or one of these losses, it's going to make us stronger and tighter together and group together. Because what's coming will be an ultimate test. And we're going to need every bit of everything we've got to get through it. So anyone who's telling you everything is pixie dust and rainbows and unicorns, we're not there. It's not happening. It's not that it's not going to happen. We have to do this. We have to do it. We have to do it. So with that being said, guys, I just want to say happy episode 36, the best that we can. Tomorrow, sorry if I'm talking a little funny. I got a tooth I'm getting pulled tomorrow because it's amazing. All timing. I have a small mouth, so it doesn't matter. It's like this one tooth back here that's... See ya. So, plan on doing this tonight. I did reach out to contact to get more information. I haven't received any, but I did receive a few messages after last episode. So we'll go into that. And then we can talk heart to heart, or if you guys want to do after the show, we'll do the Discord after chat. However I can answer some questions on here. There's a lot going on. I told you in the past, the war is going to come to the surface. It's coming. This is building. We're percolating. We're not there. But we're all going through some times. So with that being said, let's jump into contact. So normally during the summertime and spring, we tend to get more light-sided contact. There's been a lot of layers of heavy dark contact over the summer, which is highly unusual based upon, if you look on the data, it doesn't trend that way, but it does for this year. With that being said, there still has been light-sided contact, and there's been a lot of skirmishes. So you have had on Cremona another skirmish. You've had a skirmish outside of our atmosphere. There's been a skirmish near the moon. We've had many multiple skirmishes this past year. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through contact, and it's almost like, well, you're going to understand. I mean, it is what it is. So with skirmishes I was talking about, I see a skirmishes on there. In Platea, which is 10,000 light years towards the galactic center, where the moon of Cremona is, where there's multiple races, that moon was hit. If you look at last episode, and I received an image, and it was definitely hit again. There was a clone of myself that wasn't me. I had anything to do with it, and the Lyrans. And that clone was caught and executed. And Illuminea and her defender Lyran light ships thwarted the tyrant, locked him out the gate for 1,000 years, and went and did another dry run on Cremona. I'm also being accused of treason for sharing images per the dark ones, saying that I broke Law 18. So we'll see. I have everything documented, so it is what it is at this point. So with that being said, let's jump into it. We ended episode 35 on August 21st. So it's been a little bit of time. But I've also been waiting, and I haven't had much contact. So we'll go through what we do have. Sunday, August 22nd, 2021 at 11:49 a.m., I received this message. You are free, not to us, but with the authority of social communications. No pickup day. The royal. Failures before you. Okay. I said, what is your name and title? Who do you represent? At 11:57 a.m., same day, they responded, neither the column Intelligence Lyri, sent by the council to the do not ask me anything, what you know, 18 Cosmic Law Doctrine guilty of treason. I said, guilty of treason? To whom? You contacted me. Identify yourself. I await your response. At 1:46 p.m., I asked who created Law 18. At 2:07 p.m., I used that. We did a test on a language with the Lyranese and the Intukuki. I can't pronounce it right now. But if someone could throw up on the link what, excuse me, Oliver, if you could write that up. But basically, I asked a question in a converter. And the information that I did receive back on Monday, August 23rd at 7:33 p.m. was a name. And the name is, and it's an extremely long name. I can't find this name anywhere, but I'm going to spell it for you because it's that long. KISIIVA KINGMAKSIVA TATINGGARU. I'll try to pronounce that. Good luck, but I'm going to try. Kisvakinkstavatnagaru. Kisivakinkmaxivatanagaru. So it's KISIIVA KINGMAKSIVA And that's it. So August 23rd to now, no contact. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean like, oh my gosh, Alex hasn't had contact in about a month. What is going on? But I'm going to go and show you guys something. I'm not freaking out about it. Now, the what is it? The one side said you have been relieved of all your duties. That's what it was on last episode. But I'm gonna tell you this. So we'll go by the numbers of what is in my black ledger. We've already beat out last year's numbers. So 2014 was 31 messages. 2015 was 42. 2016 was 9, so it dropped. 2017 was 41. 2018 was 31. 2019 was 155. 2020 was 291. And we're already past that. And if you break it down by month, there's been plenty of times where I've had a month to 3 months where I haven't had contact. And what did I tell you? What happens? It's when we're shifting between seasons. I'm in the northern hemisphere, so we're shifting between seasons. We go from usually from summer into winter, from summers to fall, winter. You're going from light to dark. And then when you're going winter, spring, summer, you're going dark to light. And the seasons are broken up. And then there's usually a gap because communications usually stop and a new type of race or another alliance will start coming in and it'll be pretty heavy. We are actually in that in-between phase of what would normally be a gap based on contact and the data. I'm not too worried. What I am worried is that normally we trend towards a darker winter, and we've already had a pretty heavy dark summer. Hopefully things in the near future change around or something, because I think a lot of things are a lot closer and interacting and happening as we're getting closer to the surface of things breaking out. So for right now, that is the data on the contact itself. I'm trying to just see. I see a lot of messaging. I'm just trying to see. Okay, cool. So, with that being said, I did send a message out. I asked. I didn't ask. I requested an audience and a meeting, and I haven't received a response as of yet. What I've been doing is I've been dealing with a lot of personal stuff and also doing research. So what I think is the best course of avenue is going through prior to when we started March 20th of 2020. I wanted to go through some of these pretty powerful messages and different contacts. And some of them are, I would say, very relevant to speaking of like future tense of things that didn't make sense then but make more sense now, if that makes sense to you guys. We've had some breakthroughs in the race codes, where we're getting a more finer tune understanding of the race codes. And I'm not gonna present that tonight, but I'm gonna wait a little bit and get with the guys but I kind of have an idea what's going on with that, so that's a positive thing. How far we've come, guys, in this past year or 2 years, a year and a half of just everything that's going on. So I feel everyone. I feel all your burdens. I feel all your with your messages, and I talk to a lot of you guys, and I feel what you're going through, individually, and what we're hoping for that could change. This is not your typical episode with me. I'm trying to just. It's just how many times can your ship take a hit with a torpedo? Everybody, we're all in this together. We're all together on this. We are. There's a lot more optimistic behavior, I guess, on some of these other channels out there, and maybe I don't share that optimism. To do with the extraterrestrial stuff that's going on, especially. No one's seen anything yet. I mean, we're building still. It's coming. But when it all hits the fan, seriously hits the fan, we're going to have to, if I could say anything to everybody, we have to not rely on this. And I think that's another thing Contact was telling me. We got to stop relying on these. We live on these things, these little black searing devices, these little... It's all bullshit. We need in-your-face, people-to-people. We have to convert away from this addiction to this, because this is where it's all leading. It's a huge division across humanity, and it literally is humanity on the line, and it's this under the wrong hands that have led us to merging with it, and we have to stay away from that. And that is the biggest problem, one of the biggest problems across the multiple galaxies, is this type of system that pretty much encompasses the organic and then takes it over and then assimilates it to its compliance. It's just a top-down system. I'm not down in... I know I'm a little off, tired in my mouth, whatever. People with losses, going through, still healing. Everyone's going through their things. I'm just real. This is who I am. I'm not gonna blow rainbows up and be like, yeah, we need to raise our vibration and we need to be positive, but we need to start thinking strategically. We need to start recognizing and utilizing the power of God and the power of life and the power of what's right and morals and dignity and doing the right thing and being a good person. That should drive us to encompass the rest of us out there, whatever you believe in. There's some of you out there that believe in all kinds of stuff. I believe the tooth fairy comes. People believe in all kinds of crazy stuff. Well, it's not crazy. I mean, it's all based on where there's smoke, there's fire. Just like before the flood, There were giants, and there were other creatures and things, and abominations, and they were wiped out. It's real. No, but it's it's the law of one. It's Ra. It's this. It's that. Is it? Where do you think all this stuff intertwines and goes to? Like, where do you think they just had it? They just had that one side. They were right and everyone else was wrong. We just drew on temples for fun because we thought it looked good. It was cute. It's a good picture. Hieroglyphic. Like, it's knowledge. There's power. It's all about. You could have a one world government. You could. If it was under pure light and it wasn't. You could. It would be. But this is not one of those planets. This is a controlled. It's all money and slavery, and it's all about who you know and what you can do and who you can control, and it's sick. It's sick. It's disgusting, and it's shameful. It's against God. It's against what we're really supposed to be here for. What you think we were here for, intended or created, but what we're supposed to serve to do to humanity, to each other, is help each other, to love each other, to care for each other. It's great that we get contact. We have so much data. There's so many people out there to get contact. There's a lot of deception out there too. I'm not immune to it. Whether it's terrestrial agents messing with me, dark races, and then there's a lot of light races. There's a lot of good. A lot of people don't get to experience that in life, and they have to just go by their own lens of their experience and not have an experience. How hard is it for them? Or how hard is it for someone who lives in some third world country, in some remote region that doesn't have even the ability to even have a book of anything? Even a lot of these books are like in contact says they're polluted. They can't even get a book. They don't know. How terrible is that? They don't even get a chance to know, or even try to know, because they've been put in a situation where it's crazy. So we have an opportunity. We have the knowledge. We're still on a media thing. We're still communicating with each other. We're still investigating. I know a lot of you are researching, are looking, are trying to find, are trying to make sense of everything. Will we have the advantage with that? Because you can shut this down. You can shut this down. You could burn books. You can do all kinds of stuff. But once you have that knowledge, you can't take that away. It's like the telephone game. You go to a restaurant and you have amazing service. You're going to tell a few friends, wow, I was at this place and it was so amazing. And people get attracted, and then all of a sudden business goes up. And we need to start looking at the people and the businesses and who are trying to help humanity without strings attached. And we need to support them. Because without them, I think that's the last legs. That's the last I don't know. But with that, let's turn this around. I'm done with my crying up here for everybody. Not that I'm crying up here, just I think about this stuff day and night. I can't sleep at night. I honestly can't sleep. Last night I must have woke up 150 times. As soon as I go right into a dream, I wake up and I can't because I know I just can't. I don't get a lot of sleep. Even when I have an opportunity to have sleep, I can't get a lot of sleep. It's disturbing me. But it's not disturbing me mentally where I need to be put away or anything. It's hard. It's some of you that reach out to me have so many unique situations that you're in, and I wish I could help you all and do something. And sometimes I feel like my hands are tied. Even if it's down to someone who wants to have an interview or a conversation with me. I've had to put a lot of people, I pushed them towards the end of this week. There's some people that want to have, it's just, you only have so much time, right? So let's get back to basics. Let's learn. We're in a situation where we're in the know. And knowing, remember Giaja, knowing is half the battle, right? So knowing is half the battle. There's more of us than there are of some of these dark overlords that are ruling this. It's all right. We win in the end. It doesn't matter. So guys, I want to share some contact with you. So I was going to do what was I going to say? I was going to do that 35.5 or 36.5. You know what? It's episode 36. That's what I have for contact. We have that long name. I've been relieved of my duties. I'm up for treason for sharing images in the colonies of Cremona, which I would say are negative entities and races out there who are not aligned with the light, and they got hit. Well, play with fire, you're going to get burned, I guess, right? What comes around goes around, so you got burned. I'm waiting on my allies. It can't relieve me of my rank, as in my title. You can relieve me of services, and you can relieve me of whatever you think you're going to relieve me, but this is a temporary shell. My third dimensional organic body on this planet is temporary, and the only one I have to answer to is God himself. So, with that being said, let's go into the past memory lane, and let's go all the way back. And I'm thinking we go to 2014. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go through some of this contact, which I haven't gone through, except maybe one or two people. Years ago, I didn't know how to process some of this information or what I was doing. I just knew I needed to get organized with it. And I tried to get on a couple of different, this is when social media wasn't like it is now. And their systems kept crashing. And eventually I had a falling out with them because they knew a lot more than what I knew at that time, because I was new into finding out and researching and backwards researching things, and they automatically just was very supportive, and then they just started attacking me, and I was like, what's going on here? I don't even know. Let me call this person, let me call that. I don't know who these people are. So with that being said, with new eyes and deeper wisdom, we can now read some of these messages and just see if some of them correlate or don't correlate. Let me wet my throat. Give me a second. So you guys with me? Let me just check out comics. I comments. I mean, I see them all, but I haven't been responding or anything. Yeah. We'll go into all that emotion stuff later. I got it all off my chest. It's okay to have a hug and a cry and let's regroup, but we have to draw our sword and we have to keep going forward. These are setbacks. It doesn't change the overall plan of what is going to be. There's going to be light and dark, and there's going to be mixtures, and there's going to be deception, and there's going to be, but we know this, so we're just going to we have to keep going forward. What do? Just give up? We just go on our knees and be like, I guess I submit. No. I mean, fuck them. Sorry. Fuck them. Here we go. We're going to start 2014. Let's do it. Wednesday, March 12th. Actually, Sunday, February 2nd, 2014. We're going to start Sunday, February 2nd, 2014. And before we start, I do want to say one thing. Back then, to really organize and have all these things documented, which I did, it took me about a year and a half into coming up with how to handle with all this. I had to go backwards and actually document everything. There are a few messages that have been unfortunately lost due to I'm like so many years, so much technology that it's gone by. So things have been lost from saving on cards and different things. But for the most part, 90% to 98% is here. And we're going to go through it. And I did the best of my ability to, I'll just give you an idea of what it is. So here we go. February 2nd, 2014 at 11:03 a.m. Came in as Latin, and the message was, "Thy wisdom and thy in faith, which is in the light, and to the ways, and come to him. The stars rule men, but rules the stars." Then on February 2nd, 2014 at 11 p.m., I received a code. And to this day, I have not cracked this code, but I will show it. And maybe one of you guys can crack it. I don't know if you can see that. That is the code. Maybe you guys can. Some of you I know who do work on this for me and help me. You'll be able to pause it and then zoom in and look. And I know you'll do your due diligence, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Wednesday, I said, "Who is this?" And back then, I didn't even know how to respond. So there's going to be a lot where there's very few questions, but as we build through the time, all the years, I learn to ask questions, right? Wednesday, March 12th, 2014 at 11 p.m., I received in Latin, it came in 2,340 years. We enter the zone, space of time. We started a new era, Alnitak, beware of the two. So Alnitak, Alnitak, that is one of the stars on the belt of Orion. And it's telling me to beware of the two. So there are two, and I've had multiple stars. Those stars, even though they're desolate worlds in Orion, I've had multiple contacts from multiple star systems within the Orion constellation. So I've had many different constellations and galaxies. So East Elk, Lyra, Vega, Orion, Taurus, Hydrus, you name them, Cassiopeia, tons of different. But whoever's telling me this is saying, "Hey, beware of those two," and they do come to play later on into contact. Hey guys. Thursday, March 13th, 2014 at 9 a.m. It says it came in. It was binary. It went to a base 64, back to another binary, to Latin, to English. So, and the message is, two cysts commune a 40-year gap, encircling belt-like structure to proceed or move forward, God of war, Lord of battles, began we, or us. We came a triple star, 736 light years away. Alnitak, stretching of a bow, taking aim at a target, to you or for you, descended, born, sprung, new independent ruler to see to. New independent ruler to see to. So they're talking about the Orion. They're claiming to be, they're talking about their system. They're talking about their star, their Altanek, 736 light years away, stretching of a bow. That's Orion, the hunter. Taking aim at a target to you or for you. So basically, could be your friend or your enemy. Descended, born, sprung, new independent ruler to see to. So there's an agenda. So they're talking about an independent ruler to see to. Monday, March 24th. One sec, guys. All right, cool. March 24th, 2014. Monday at 11:53 p.m. A friend. So we are also seen to be some verve wiped off the earth until finally the last world ranking. Okay. Friday, April 4th, 2014, 8:20 p.m. Do not be afraid. May 4th, 2014, a Sunday at 11:07 p.m. I literally received Morse code that spelled Morse code. Like, it was either terrestrial agents or it was extraterrestrial telling me to watch out, basically, for a new form of messaging besides like the binary and the base 64 and the Latin and codes and symbols that basically like, hey, we're going to be sending you this. So kind of like look out for it. That's how I interpret it, because it says Morse code. Like, why would you send that? And it makes sense because throughout the years in the early past, there was a lot of Morse in there. And some of that tied in with terrestrial agencies. And we'll go into that. May 22nd, Thursday at 1:18 a.m., I received, after it was translated from Latin, from beginning to end, and at the time, your future enlightening. May 24th, 2 days later, at 3:49 p.m. on a Saturday, the dialogue we are talking about heaven differ. So what happened between the 24th and the 22nd, 2 days? Now I didn't ask a question. They're not responding to me about a question. But what it is talking about at that time, there were conversations in private that there was no way anyone could have possibly known, because there was no electronics near me. I wasn't near anything. I was in a location that some way, somehow, they knew what I was talking about and were commenting on it. May 24th, 3:49 p.m., within the same minute, I received the next message from a different contact source, because I received, remember, received from beginning to end, at the time, your future enlightening, on May 22nd, right? Then on May 24th, I received the dialogue we are talking about heaven differ, right? And then it switches to a totally different contact. And that contact said, we must enter into the light of the codes you are. Do not be afraid, for the war, and he reigned 11 years, 11, inspired by wisdom, which he hath spoken, we ask, but in the movement, which are slow to rise from each other, as long a time, the light 100 años regal's another star, who had done many questions to us, and he came too. So I'm like, what is it? What are they talking about? They're talking about, again, another different type of star, but it's another Orion thing. They're talking about a movement which is slow to rise. They're talking about entering your light codes. And at that time, I was not fluent in understanding what light codes were and what are we talking about. And then I received on Sunday, June 8th at 10:45 p.m., it said this, and that's all it said. I'm like, okay. Sunday, June 15th at 11:11 p.m., I received Zio. It's a name of a being, or Zio slash, or Zio slash Frek, Frek of Adaya. Is the one of the majority of cases when he is to come, that many nations in the name of yours recognize. So they're saying this Zio Frek of Adaya is the one of the majority of cases when he is to come, that many nations in the name of yours recognize. So I researched I have not found anything on Zio Frek of Adaya. So it's ZIO dash FREK of Adaya, ADAIAH. And then they said at the same moment and within 30 seconds, I received the next message on June 15th of 2014 that said, of the many races to come, which has panned out, because there have been many races that have revealed themselves and have come, but some things there are some things that you can do future proofs past in here, and there's some things that have yet to transpire, and some things, a couple of things that, from my perspective, didn't pan out, whether timelines changed or whatever happened, they didn't happen what they were saying. So, all right, give me 1 second, sorry. Then I had a voicemail on June 17, 2014. Now, I wasn't prepared for the voicemail aspect of it. I do have a lot of these voicemails saved. I will be in upcoming episodes playing those voicemails for you. This voice was a very strange accent. All it said was coming, and it was almost like a whisper, ghastly. It was chilling, to say the least. The way it was said, it was just, it made your hair stand up. Like, what was that? So, Thursday, June 26, 2014, it came in as binary, translated into Latin, into English. Infinite wisdom. July 9th, 2014, I received a message from 1100000000 with no message. I used to get a lot, and a lot of that I didn't even put in here because I lost some of that. I used to get a lot of weird codes with no messages. Saturday, July 26, 2014 at 6:04 p.m. I received capital A dot D dot A dot M dot Adam, but as like an acronym with like, but it does, I don't know what the acronym, it definitely says Adam, and it says A dot capital D dot capital A dot capital M dot, but Tuesday, September 9th, 2014 at 10:12 p.m. I received that cometh to thee, thy light, and thy surrounding consciousness watching. So basically, there are things surrounding consciousness in light, a light being that is watching. And it kind of explains some of the things that were going on with not being anywhere near electronics or in a conversation with someone and they witness and then them commenting on what we're commenting or talking about. So that was a big, wow, what's going on here? Wednesday, October 15th, 2014 at 11:18 a.m. They are darkened in the day of the hours, lights in the seas, whereby such an azure, like a brilliance, a light, hour, it illuminated the 11 years will bring Ahim. So Ahime, and that goes back to almost the same language or type as that Zeofrek of Vadea with the Ahim. We're still in the, we're in that October, September, we're going into the fall. So being mindful of what's going on with contact, because we're having multiple contacts here. Saturday, November 22nd, 2014. But Orion is the origin of the kingdom of the elect. Thou wilt be contacted, Agorius. Hour I will come. Do not listen, but talk 11:11. So these beings, and you're going to find out who this race is, part of this race, because immediately people go, oh, that's the reptilians. But this is not. This is definitely not. And you'll find out about that. I said, what is your name? Why did you stop contact? Why do we not understand your speaking? And back then, I didn't have any formalities. At this point, I wasn't told anything by many different races at this point of who I am or why I'm receiving messages. In the beginning, I thought I was being pranked or messed with on a high level where someone is coordinating this. I had people in telecommunications and other aspects, research, and say, whatever's going on is not your normal thing going on. We can't answer why this is happening. And then we started having witnesses to events or things that were taking place at that time. On November 25th, Tuesday, on 2014, at 11:11 p.m., I received, like, if you want to learn the names of the ones chosen with wisdom, and it came in as Latin, and it binary Latin, and then, so if you want to learn the names of the ones chosen with wisdom. And I just to kind of give you guys a little bit of an idea of what's going on here too, before I started receiving any type of messaging or any kind of images, and this is before I even received an image yet, before contact officially started for myself, and after I got sick, I was having these dreams of, only thing in my dream was, and you hear about this, because I laugh when I read it on the social media where someone goes, I'm seeing these numbers, 11:11, I'm seeing 333, I'm seeing, I was having that, but this is before social media, so I didn't know other people were having experiences. But I was having it in my dream where it would just be darkness. You're not supposed to be able to read or write, or you're not supposed to do certain things in your dream. But that's what was happening in my dream. I would see the numbers 11:11 or 111, or I would see, different number sets, and that's all that was in my dream. And then after that was happening for many months, it turned into I started to have these what I call epiphanies, and anything that's contact related, I put it into my, into the manuscript. Raw contact. I don't pollute it. I don't put my feelings or my thoughts. I have a journal for that. But what I used to have is these epiphanies where I would all of a sudden, it'll just hit me like, oh, whatever I thought about, it's kind of like I knew without researching it. It was kind of really weird. And I would go deep and I just start writing. I came up with my own like personal my pie theory of and all these things were just coming in, and I can't explain it other than picture like you want to question something you never studied, and then you thought about it, and then you would understand it without research, and then when you went to research it, you were like, whoa, how did I know that? But you were writing all this down. So that's prior to contact. So there was a good long many months of I was having these epiphanies, and then the contact started. So it was like, first I got sick, then it was dreams, and then it was epiphanies, and then it was messaging. And as we've gone through the years, more things become more acclimated, like images, knowing events before they happen, coordinates, locations, systems, different things that as we go through this, and we'll go through these episodes, maybe I never get contact ever again. Maybe I'm dismissed totally. But I have enough faith to know that I know there will come a time where contact will be done because we'll be going through a judgment period basically. But there's just going to be where we receive, I don't know how to explain it. Nothing lasts forever, right? On this planet. So the best thing that we're doing is coordinating, organizing this, putting this, and some of this stuff in the past is making sense for this in the now so what my plan is, what I'm trying to say is, even if contact is done for now, we're going to catch up with all these other years that are already written, ready to roll. And I'll share what I can, obviously, because of images. I got to be careful again. And that's a whole nother ball of wax. And I'm just not going to even go into images tonight and talk about images, because like that whole Cremona thing happened again. And there's a lot of threats and finger pointing and whatever. But basically what we're talking with right now is there's Anunnaki. So you got Anunnaki in the beginning of this. You have ones from Venus. As we go through the years, you're going to have, I have the whole list of different races and different things. And some are light and dark in the same race. And you think that, oh, well, so they have to be. No. There's a lot of, just like us, we're on the planet. There's divisions, and it's as earth as it is in heaven. I mean, that's what it is. It's heaven, the heavens. You have kingdoms out there. There's kingdoms on the earth. And this is what it is. So, yeah. So that being said, I'm going to do a little bit more, and then I'll answer some of your questions as we're going through. And then we're going to make it a routine to go through, because we have a few journals, not journals, but manuscripts of data to catch us up to the present and maybe we're back on track by then with Contact. But we'll continue to go through these messages. And I know I keep seeing all these messages, and I haven't read really any of them. So if there's anything, I'm just gonna look real here. 100 regal years. Yes, Angela, let me look at that. 100 regal years. Yeah, 100 años. So 100 years. Años, like años. Yeah, 100 años regal, who had done many questions to us, and he came too. So, yeah, so I don't know if that helps you. I want to hear more later. We've been getting, we're doing Healing of Humanity and was shown golden belt around the earth. Red Thor, just letting him know. Trump, I'm sure you did well. Trump is from Orion. We were doing Healing of Humanity. This is a thing, yes. Yep. I'm just going through this real quick, just seeing who's... there are many timelines. Hello, that is true. But the overall plan, this is what I noticed. There are many timelines, and nothing... things do come to pass, but the overall arc or the plan of how everything's going, that's still coming to fruition and happening. It's just not on the right exact path of... So that's what I've come to realize, that with some of the data that didn't come to fruition or has changed, because it's even mentioned in old Contact, and we'll go through that another time. I mean, that's deep into Contact, years later from where we're at right now. But it talks about, at one point, there was a dark race that told me I was a fool that changed the timeline. The fool that changed the timeline. Fool that changed the time. So they're talking about time. Excuse me. They're talking about timelines. It's being recognized way before I even thought about timelines and how that could affect things. So it brings validity to the table when they're actually commenting prior to my known knowledge of it. So it is a thing. And like you said, like timelines, right? So I'm having a problem with my messenger. All right, let me get to the bottom of this. Let me see what's going on. I don't know why every time I scroll down, it scrolls up for me. Yeah, every time I go down, it goes right back up. Can't worry about that. I'll comment on you guys in Discord after chat. If Tara's on, she can throw that up there. I know they're having bad storms. I know VJ, you got a storm coming. Doug's going through his own personal storm right now. There's a lot of storms, but the big one isn't here yet. But it feels like we're almost in a storm with everything that's going on. So let's just put it that way. Guys, let me jump back on here and give you some more messages. December 9th, Tuesday, 2014 at 5:10 p.m. This is a different race. Waiting for a signal, the time in idleness. Only time is ours to work through the technology with regard to the space of the sun at certain intervals. So they're saying, hey, we don't have a lot of time. We're waiting on a signal. We're utilizing your technologies that you currently have so that we connect. And based upon intervals of our sun, there are certain times of when this can happen. And that's what they're basically saying. And there's a lot of that continuity through Contact, running out of time. And I think that has to do with our contactees having contact from certain races, especially on mine, seasonally. throughout certain day and night and hours and times, numbers, numerology. There's a lot intertwined with all this. And some of you guys have, I wish I could present that data, that there are a couple people who are amazing individuals who have come a long way with not only the race codes, but coming up with um, an astrological and astronomy merging of data based upon contact and timing throughout the year, and when certain things are over you, just like they're talking about on here about intervals of the sun in different locations. That's mentioned. So it's not like you can make a call to, say, someone in Argentina and you're just like, hey, hello, at any time you want. Picture where maybe only 4 months out of the year you're able to, based upon how it all works, you're able to make contact with someone in Argentina, and you have to wait the other 8 months until that cycle comes back around, where that window, when we talk about windows of contact open and close, where you're able to then make contact. So we're always in motion, things are always moving, so, and things are in flux, so there are different things that align, and things when you can. And that's why the dark side do all kinds of crazy stuff, at not me, but that's what they do, certain times and dates, and they do dark stuff, is because it's kind of like the law 18, like with, the images. Like there's a law, like there's power, and if you use it for good or evil. So it's all intertwined. Remember, Contact said it's all binded. It's all together. Wednesday, December 10th, 2014 at 1:33 a.m. You need to meditate on them on every side and your gifts. Then you will know this. But in your gifts and your origin, you from us. So this is a first time I've received contact from the Lyrans, which we'll find out later on. But they're basically letting me know meditation, prayer, all these different things that people do. These are all forms of making a call. You're communicating. You're putting yourself in a situation where you can connect. And then they recognize, and your gifts. So I have gifts I was born with. Some of these gifts are, I'll have a vision in my mind's eye, and it comes to be, whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours or 2 days, where I'll see something in my mind's eye and it'll come exactly like I see it as a movie. Or another gift, and many of you have gifts where intuition or reading people or having another thing. I can see faint lines between, believe it or not, I can see faint lines between stars. I can sense, like, Spider-Man, like, sense danger. Like, I have spidey sense where I know when something's not right, or I feel. And a lot of you guys have gifts too. Everyone has gifts. Some people have certain gifts than others, and they're just saying on here, and your gifts, which I do through my whole life of growing up and knowing different weird things that are just not, other people don't have. So I know what my gifts are. And then they said, then you will know this, but in your gifts, and your origin, you from us. And at that point, I'm like, who, what do you mean? Like, where am I from? Like, what are you talking about? Like, my origin? Because this is all back in 2014. I didn't find out until years later, as they're basically training me for these times of what is coming and what is actually on our doorstep. It's not fully here. Sorry, I gotta take a sip. That tooth is bothering me. So like my throat is really dry. I'm tired. Like I said, I didn't get much sleep. I'm gonna yank that bad boy back here. So I wanted to get this episode knocked out because in the morning I'm gonna be like, and I'm gonna have this big old thing up. See, I gotta lose teeth too. I'm not special. I have unique experiences, and I'm a unique individual, and you all are unique individuals yourselves, and all complement each other. And that's what the whole point is. We all have to come together. We have to stop this fighting. They're pitting us against each other. We'll get into more of that, but it's going to take us doing it, coming together. It has to, or it's not going to work. It's just not. And we're going to... Oh, this is crazy, but it's true. It's happening. Party's over. So, listen. Then I received coordinates on December 17, 2014, Wednesday at 11:10 p.m. 33 degrees, 54, 42, north, 118, 27, 11, west. I'm not repeating that again. I'm not going to show you. I said it, but I didn't fully say it. But it's enough information. But we'll go into that another time. And I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm not breaking any kind of, I don't know. Wednesday, December 17, 2014 at 11:35 p.m. That thy brother hath speaketh wisdom. Coordinate sent to you. Now tend toward a place in the fleet. And ships could not make one. And then I received a code. I have yet, maybe one of you guys can crack it. I have not cracked this code. That code at the top. I don't know if you guys could see that. That code at the top, it's ... And I'll let you guys pause that at another time. You could break that down, and we'll talk about that over the time, especially when I'm probably like, and I can't, and I'll just be texting you back. Wednesday, December 24th, the same day at 12:54 a.m., which wasn't much time later, not much time later. The time is short, and there are still the means of communication to contact with us, to ask us to come finally induce him to. And then I received 20 minutes later this, and then that was it. And then 20 more minutes later at 12:01 a.m. 11, and then another different message 11. So the continuity is with the same but different. You have multiple, you had 3 different races talking at the same time. And you'll see as we go along how they start telling on each other and start becoming aggressive with each other. And how they all say that they need a Lyran Prince and yada, yada, yada. All this stuff. Also, I have another code. I can't crack this, guys. This is all the way back from Saturday of January 17, 2015. And I'll share that. If that... I can share that. I don't know what that is. I don't know how to crack it. I do apologize. But that is... another thing that you guys can... That was at 11:11 p.m. I said, I do not understand what you sent me. January 19th, 2015, on Monday, they said, at 11:11, do you not understand that we are not forgiven? Return to the wish to return and bless thee, and his brother trying to us. Now, here's something strange about that message. At the time, and there's definitely AWACS outside my home right now, circling. Now, maybe they're just doing their normal thing. But anytime I start doing a show, or I have contact, that starts to go on. And let me just double check something. I'm just making sure. Just making sure I didn't get contact. So they said at 11:11, do you not understand that we are not forgiven? So they're not forgiven, whoever's contacted me, right? Return to the wish. So remember what I said. Be careful what you wish for. Now I've commanded things where I want information, data, a close-up image of a city, a base, and or I've made a gesture where I said I command this or that, and bad, like good things have happened and bad things have happened. I'm not saying I'm anyone special. Other than that, I do recognize I have to be careful what I do say and wish or command. And right there, they're letting me know. They're saying, this is back before I even knew this stuff. They're saying January 19th of 2015. They're saying, do you not understand that we're not forgiven? So I'm thinking these are fallen ones, or these are bad guys, right? Return to the wish. So like go back to wishing, or return to the wish, to return and bless thee. Like say, like to forgive them, like to help them, and his brother trying to us. So either they're talking about my brother, as in like Commander Doug, or they're talking about other brothers, as in races that were. So because things, there's just like we have races on this planet, and there are races out there, and there are many extraterrestrials and alliances. Everyone thinks, well, not everyone thinks, but a lot of people think, well, it's like the Galactic Federation, and everyone just is all in this group. There's like subdivisions. There's many different federations. There's light and dark. There's dark against dark. There's light with skirmishes with some light. There's light and dark war. So there's light and dark in each race. There's a lot going on. It's not just black and white. They're over there. These guys are over there. And everyone is like getting along and everything's great. No, because it's really what Contact has stated. It's Christos versus Antichristos, but there's like hierarchies and wow, that they're low over me today. Hierarchies and ranks and missions and projects going on and deception going on. Everything is constantly fluid. And if you're at a point where you're like, this is totally nuts, everything he's saying, if you don't think that there are crazy behind closed door things that are going on around this planet globally, at this point, you should just unplug from life on the TV you should just, there's no helping. At this point, you're in the digital age of man, of knowing all truths will be revealed. So like you're at a point where the truth's in your face, and if you decide you're like, no, I don't want to look at that, that's not happening, or I'm just going to go 9 to 5, like this isn't this isn't my reality. You can live like that, but eventually all this is going to come down, and you're just going to have more questions, because when it does affect you and you have to be involved and you have to interact, you're going to be so out of context. And I feel like that too. I feel out of context. Some of these guys know way more than me about a lot of different, if you go into ufology, if you go into secret space program, if you go into different races, if you go into different contactees and different people and scientists and doctors, everyone has their like field, or they have their perception or view of like through their lens of like, this is how it is, and this is because of this. And I try to like take a swab of everybody so I can get as much data as I can, because there's so much. It's not just one or two different races, or it'd be easy if it was like, okay, they're the fish people, and there are only the fish people, and the fish people come, and they're and you're like, oh, I know all about the fish people, because we only know about, there is just so much out there. It's a lot. You just can't know it all, because, and then someone asked me that. I was on an interview, or someone was interviewing me like a week ago or something, and they were asking me, they said, do you think it's only like this, and I was just like, no, even with all my information and data, even with all the contacts that I get, I don't even know it all. There's no way. There's so much going on. So when you have people who are like, oh, I received contact from X person or X thing, you're only getting that one. You're only getting that. You're not getting all the other different spectrums of the slice of the pies. There's points of views. There's politics. There's politics up there. There's no politics up there. Yeah, sure there is. There are kingdoms up there. There's personalities. There are kings and queens and princes and princesses. There's royal soldiers. There are regular peoples and races and politics and governments, and there's so much going on. Even if I had 100 races contacting me, there's no way I can know who in everyone's maybe, some gelatin type and organic intelligent being on a fourth density on some has a better understanding about different things that, like, you have to be open to understand. You can't be stupid about life. You can't put it all into, like, you're in a bubble and you're in this bubble. Nothing else is happening. You have to understand things are moving. And it's all gravitating here. Why here? Because this is a garden planet. This is a unique type of planet. This is different. A lot of worlds are deserts. A lot of desert worlds out there. A lot of ocean worlds out there. A lot of desert worlds out there. Believe it or not, there's a lot of moons out there with a lot of different races on many moons. And a lot of them look like desert mountains. I'm just going to be honest with you. A lot of them look like Nevada or look like New Mexico. A lot of worlds look like the South Pacific. They just do. There's aquatic races out there. There's all kinds of stuff. We are in a different situation. You have things living underneath us and above us on many different spectrums, dimensionally. We're in the third dimension. There's a lot going on. We're on the surface. It's very dangerous to be on the surface of a planet. I have a planet that was sent to me that was literally melted, that looks like, I thought it was ocean. It looked, the ripples, you ever see something melted so good? And as far as the eye can see, broad daylight. And I'm like, oh, it's an ocean. They said, no, that's from war. That's from war from long ago, when the Orions and the Lyrans and the others were battling. And some of these desolate worlds are totally like glass. They melted. They're melted. Literally looks like an ocean, but it's still, because it's melted, because it's been pulverized and molten to where it hardened, and there is no more civilization there. That's war. That's what happens. It's going on out there. This planet's different. This is the planet that we take a stand on, and we pivotally we take back part of the Milky Way. That's what it's going to come down to. Because in the end, the bad guys lose. They do for this world. They do. So, and I believe that. All right, guys. What I want to do is, I kind of want to take a break there. It's a lot. I want to catch up, and I want to jump on Discord, talk to some of you guys. I know some of you guys have been waiting to talk to me, and privately I'll take messages. I definitely want to touch base with Commander Doug and see how he's doing. I haven't heard from him, seen him. I'm worried about him. I know they're going through a hardship right now. And I don't want to end it on a sour note. This has been great. I think this is a good start. And I think now that we kind of have a groove, I want to come up with ideas of how I'm going to share this data, because some of this stuff is really cool, these codes, and maybe some of you guys might be able to really help me crack some of this stuff. On top of that, I do want to say, I think about all you guys every day. I really do. I'm not the type to just do a random live. I'm just not that. I don't prep anything for a show, really. I talk to, some advisors within like Tara and others, where I go, oh, you think I should talk, you think I should start dipping into the old stuff? Because I'm starting to feel it. And they're like, so we talk things out, but there's nothing that's premeditated. I'm not like reading a teleprompter and then I am reading a teleprompter. I mean, I'm not. I do want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all those, again, who have helped me through this trying year. I don't even have words. And my home is always open to those. Some of you have been here. And all I can do is offer my services, as in, my data, my love, my any wisdom I could help you with, or we can help each other out, all of us, with the upcoming storm that's basically upon us. So like, we're just gonna need each other. You can't give in. Don't give in. Contact talked about a lot of stuff, especially this past year, about things that are going on currently. And I'm trying to stay as neutral as I can, so I'm not like, this thing is taken off the air. But basically, all the stuff that's going on currently in the news, all these different things, this is stuff that was talked about a while ago. And we all know what the mark is and the number. And we all know about the light and the Lucian and all of the stuff. It's all part of it. And the reptilians have always ruled the fields on the earth and all this stuff. This is all intertwined. There's a lot of false information out there, guys. There's a lot of truths. And together, we're going to bring it together. It's all going to come to make sense. And there's going to come to a time we're not going to have this. We're not going to be able to do episodes because you won't have this. We're going to need to already be connected in a network that's not reliant. Pre-90s, where how we used to survive when we didn't have this, so that we can survive what's going on. And there's a lot of people hurting, and I just want to say I love you all. And if Tara, you could throw up the Discord, and again, I'm gonna start doing more of these, and we'll go through all the older. I want to get, before the lights turn out, so to speak, I want to get contact caught up from the old contact, so it's on the record, so someone can download it or have it to where they have a reference to this data. Because my ultimate goal was to have all these different manuscripts published, not to be famous or anything, but for humanity as a historical record. And that way, the more data, the more we can get this out. It can't be suppressed. So, with that being said, I'm an open book. I'm going to catch you guys on Discord. Thanks for everything, guys. Tonight was just, I had to push forward because I won't be able to talk tomorrow. And Doug, our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. And I know, man, I know how hard it is. We've all gone through. I lost my sister. I lost my dad. Julia lost her grandmother. Lost her cousin. You're losing people. Everyone's, and you know what? None of mine were COVID. Some of them were marked COVID when they weren't COVID, and that's crazy. And that's not. I don't even want to go into it, guys. I love you all. I'm here to the end. Yeah, I don't just disappear. And if one day they gotta cut my head off, they're gonna cut my head off, or whatever they're gonna do, they're gonna do it. But this is just my earth body. Because when I get back on board, they better watch their ass, because there are fleets involved. And I will use, and I know, and I've seen, and I've heard, and I know what and who has been doing what. There will be judgment, just not yet. I love you all. See you on Discord.